Nevin James, and I'm a singer and a songwriter and a piano player, and I guess a guitar player, and I play harmonica. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm a Pittsburgh musician, and I was born and raised here. And then I went to college at a place called Pepperdine, which is just north of LA. I've always been drawn to music, even from a young age. So one of the first sounds I remember hearing would be vocal harmony at my family's church. Someday I'll catch up to her. My mom was great at harmonizing. My dad is a music enthusiast. They have always been supporters of music. And I think it's really cool that, you know, neither of them necessarily were instrumentalists, but they pointed me towards piano without being piano players themselves. I had a really cool teacher. He allowed me to kind of watch his hands and to kind of listen to the music and to learn to play that way. It made me happy. It wasn't like a chore to practice or something. I just enjoyed it. The first real taste of playing live music would have been my last year of high school. We had a fundraiser for a dear friend of mine who needed a heart transplant, which thank God was successful and he's still doing well. It was a very eye-opening experience for me. I saw the way the audience responded, and I realized that I could play music and use music to maybe help some people. And then I wrote this rock opera, and we got to perform that on the road here on the East Coast. That was a really, a very important and effective experience in my life. And then here in town, I've gotten to play a number of great places. Had a great show at the Club Cafe down the south side some years ago. Played the Three Rivers Arts Festival here in town, which was a real treat. But yeah, to be honest with you, every single performance feels like the most important performance I've ever done. I'm not like that well known, and a lot of times people who come to my shows are hearing me for the first time. And for some people that's like, they have no interest in that, you know, like some people just want to hear songs that they know, but for some people that like do want an experience where they've never heard this music before, I love seeing the way they react. When we step into that area, you know, the musicians and I, you never know what's going on around you in the world. I mean, what's happening in the world or even what's happening in your life, but once you step kind of like onto the stage, you just kind of give it everything, you know, and you just pour yourself into it. It's always really special when musicians come together and, you know, harmonize in any sort of way. There's one part of it that's just like enjoyment. It is generally really fun sometimes to be making music with another person, but all of us are working in different ways to do our little part, to make our little part of the song as strong as it can, so as a whole, it becomes this new thing. Yeah, so the writing process is different for each person and for each writer. There's the melody, and then there's the lyric. And then there's establishing chords that go behind the melody, you know, to create kind of like the mood or the temperature of the song in some ways. It starts with, what do you want to say? You know, like if you're feeling something sad, you can communicate some of that in the music. And then you can find lyrics that maybe match the feel of the music that you're starting to kind of find. To use writing as a way of like letting some of what's inside out, you know? And then there are certain parameters that you kind of work within from a rhyme scheme, like poetically. It's challenging and it's kind of impressive to like hammer what you're trying to say into that mold. Sometimes songs take a day, sometimes songs take weeks, and sometimes I'll start it and then I'll go back to it for months and then go back to it and maybe finish it. I would say don't worry if you don't come from a musical family. Don't worry if you haven't like done a lot of musical stuff up to this point with like a band or even as a writer. Like you can start today. You get some words that kind of hit you in the gut a little bit, and you get a melody that kind of hits you somewhere, be like, all right, you know, just kind of record it into your phone, maybe speak it or write it down, and then just keep finding little pieces that fit together, and then eventually, if you step back, eventually it might just look like a song. If people want to find me, they can just Google my name, which is Nevin James, or they can go to iTunes and find the songs. There's plenty of music out there if people want to hear it, and I would love for them to hear it. I hope they get something from it if they listen.